Hi guys, and welcome to the next video. Alright, so this morning I did a video with you guys, and I wanted you to know where my heart was this morning. That's the first part of this video. Where I see the Lord taking us now is into a study that is predominantly about this new word that He has fascinated me with, that I cannot seem to get enough of or to get away from today. All right? As I was looking back over my notes, I've realized that almost everything that I have been studying in the last couple weeks has related to each other. I just didn't know it. What He is showing me is the poles, and He's showing me that through my study of rock. And He's taking me back to the beginning. I am going to share with you what He has been showing me. You are going to want to take notes and pray. Pray. There's a lot of information here, all right? First, I want to share with you some more about what I was seeing this morning. The woman that I saw this morning that is wearing white and that is holding the bouquet, it just so happens that bouquet means corsage, right? Worn on the wrist or over the heart, or held in the hands. Corsage means bush. I know. Bush. Well, as you know, I just got through with my vision of the burning bush. I never quite understood this until just now. Like now, meaning at this time. We have always looked at this burning bush that Moses saw. Well, let's just go read about it. It's in Genesis. It's in Exodus chapter 3. Let's read about it. I've got lots of notes here. I hope they don't fall. Okay. Now we're going to start at chapter 3, verse 1. All right. This is where it all began for me. Okay, was my burning bush moment. Okay, as we all will have. When you get through watching these videos, you're going to see this in a different light, because the Spirit is going to guide us and reveal to us what we need to know. Let's read Exodus chapter 3. Let's pray for clear eyes, open ears, a willing heart, an open mind. All right, let's start. We are in Exodus chapter 3. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. When I hear Midian, I think of the middle, the median, the mediator, the leveler, the balancer. I'm thinking of the scales, the balance. Jesus is that power strip, remember, in the middle of our lampstand? That lampstand is a balance of scales. It's weight and measure. Give on one side, receive on the other. The balance is found in the center. The balance is found at the point of the center. And where is that? The middle, the median, the midst of the week. You've got a beginning and an end to the lampstand. Giving and receiving. Alpha, Omega. Spirit living. Life. It's measured. The power strip that's in the center is always lit, flaming. It is the middle because it is the place of Midian. All right. The father-in-law, Jethro, is a priest. All right. The idea here is that the priest has a daughter. The daughter is flesh. Remember? He wants to marry her off. He's marrying her off to Moses, who is the epitome of the obedient servant. The one chosen since birth, set aside for a specific task, reared by the princess mother in the kingdom, the mother, mothered and nursed, given a task, and at his crossroads, at Moses' crossroad of the earthly kingdom and battling his ancestry, between the two kingdoms was he caught. What did he do? But determine to run off from that kingdom that he knew he was not a part of, and run to the kingdom that he was a part of by birth, by lineage, by blood. Oh, I hope this is speaking to your heart like it's speaking to mine. I've never seen Moses this way in my life. Maybe I'm just missing out. Maybe I've just missed it for so long. I've never heard this taught. He's tending the flock. He's doing the will of the Father because he's the Son of the Father, Spirit. So Moses flees, and where does he go but Midian? The middle, the balance. And where does he meet there? His wife. She has a father who is a priest. He led the flock to the back of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. Directed to that mountain. Moses fled to Midian. When do we see this but fleeing to the mountains, fleeing to the wilderness for safety? God directed Moses even though Moses didn't even know he was being protected. He made the decision to leave behind the flesh and run into the direction that he was supposed to. See, he wasn't an Egyptian. He wasn't an Egyptian, but Egypt had him in bondage there. Even though he was in the palace, even though he had the best of things, guys. And he came to a point that he fled when Pharaoh sought to kill him. And Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh, and dwelt by the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. Guys, a well? Have we just not studied the wellspring of life? God is leading us to Moses. He's leading us by way of me. I hope you enjoy this journey. The priest of Midian had 7 daughters. 7. 7. They came and drew water, and they filled their troughs with their father's flock. Jethro the priest put into the vessels of his daughter a longing for truth, to be led. The shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and he helped them and watered their flock. Moses did not run. And this should be a lesson for you and me. They said, an Egyptian delivered us from the hand of the shepherds. He also drew enough water for us and watered up the flock. So he said to his daughters, okay, where is he? Where is this man? Call him that he may eat bread. He's wanting to communion with him. And then Moses was content to live with him, and he gave Zipporah, his daughter, to Moses, and she bore him a son. Yeah, the man-child, the new growth, the offspring he was intended to have. So Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest. And he led the flock to the back of the desert, to the mountain of God, and the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. What was burning? What would have been in the bush? Limbs from the tree. But not just a tree. Because a tree is upright. This is cut low. This is a stubbed tree. You're going to learn more about this. Where the focus of this is in the midst, the flame in the midst of the fire. The angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. He looked, and behold, the bush was burning with fire, but the bush was not consumed. consume, consummate. What does consummate mean? You consummate in a marriage. The bringing together of man and woman what was the Lord revealing to Moses? Moses' cries were for the people that he was with. He cried, what was the Lord showing him? Well, you're going to have to wait till the next video because I'm running out of time in this video. What I want you to remember from this video about Moses, I want you to remember that Moses was called by God, chosen for a specific purpose, brought up in the world, but given the best of care, taken care of by the mother, nursed by the mother. And at the age that God willed, he made a change in his life at the crossroad. Does he stay in a world where his father is not his real father, and what he sees around him is not right? Does he go then in turn to the life that did birth him, where his real father is? If he turns there, what will he now find? Because it's different than where he had been. Now his once father seeks to destroy him. He flees out of that area and finds Midian, where he finds Jethro, who happens to have daughters that need marriage. He's happy to give his daughter to Moses, because Moses is leading flock. Moses is in his purpose. Now God is going to fulfill that purpose by speaking to him. We're going to find out in the next video what this means. Talk to you soon.